Hi, and welcome to the Nonprofit Podcast. I'm Jena, a nonprofit advocate here at Donorbox. It's great to have you back with us, and hello there to first timers. You've chosen a really positive and inspiring day to join us. Dream on Purpose, my guests today, are a blast of joyous inspiration at a time when so many of us need a reminder of the good in the world and the remarkable people out there driving positive change. I sat down with the founders a few weeks back, and I'm still riding the wave of motivation, so let's jump in and share in that positive energy.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jena, and this nonprofit spotlight moment is brought to you by Donorbox. Today, I am so thrilled to be joined by Shareen and Joanne of Dream on Purpose. Dream on Purpose is an amazing nonprofit that empowers every young girl to actualize their dreams by connecting them with local resources through interactive workshops and promoting positive socialization through structured forums. And they just so happen to be new Donorbox users as well. So, Shareen and Joanne, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having us.
Okay, so to get us started, could you tell us a little bit behind the inspiration of Dream on Purpose?
Most certainly, Jena. So actually, our name, the name of the organization, Dream on Purpose, is an indication of what inspired it to come to fruition. So I was speaking with an old mentor of mine, and I was asking him, give me the lay of the land, what's going on with our youth today. And what he told me is that he noticed that our youth have stopped dreaming. He noticed that, they don't get a lot of exposure outside of the four walls. That is either their home or their school. And so I was like, wow, looks like we have a problem in our hands, and there's something that we can do about it. So at that point in time, I rallied up a few great women that I had in my circle, still have in my circle. And I was like, hey, we have an opportunity to make a difference in the lives of youth around us, specifically young females. So what do you think? Are you on board? And of course, that first phone call went to none other than my sister, Joanne. And of course, her answer was an immediate yes. And everyone else that I asked to be a part of the movement, they said yes as well. And so what started off as, a movement in which we would have an annual conference actually blossomed into a organization, a 501c3 nonprofit by the name of Dream on Purpose. And here we are 6 years later, still moving forward with our mission to empower today's youth.
As you mentioned, you are a volunteer-led agency, but you're offering some amazing programs to empower your youth. Can you tell me a little bit about those programs?
Most certainly. So we have our signature event, which is held on a quarterly basis. It's called Cupcakes and Conversations. And so I think the name is kind of fitting because we bring around a table young ladies within our community around a topic that they are either dealing with or have questions about, or it might be deemed taboo for them to have conversations about. So we figured out that our young ladies needed to have a safe space where they can come together to talk about these topics and to get their questions addressed. What we noticed was that our young ladies, when they're going through trials and tribulations today, they have this tendency to turn to one another. And I mean, that's human nature, right? We're going to turn to those that we feel comfortable talking with, that we feel like is not going to judge us where we are right now, and will offer some words of comfort. Well, however, when you're dealing with life situations and you're a youth, speaking to another peer may not always be the best solution that there is. And so we were like, there's this need to bring our girls together to talk about these topics and to expose them to resources that's within the community, and also make sure that they're spending time with professional women who, are just really great at what they do in the community and who's willing to spend that time with our young ladies. ladies. So that's how we came up with Cupcakes and Conversations. The topics, they are selected by our youth. So after every event, we have our young ladies fill out a survey in which they tell us what topics they would like for us to address next. We want to make sure that what we're presenting to them is what they want to learn about, hear about. And so we most definitely take their suggestions into account. In terms of another program that we host and that is actually coming up, is called Career Launch Intensive. So we partner with another nonprofit organization by the name of Lifehouse, and we essentially bring together our young ladies for a career preparedness workshop, and then we take them shopping the next day for interview-ready clothes. So we actually have that coming up in November, the 20th and the 21st. And so we're really excited about that program. This is going to be year number 3 in which we're hosting it, and we're definitely looking forward to making sure that this continues to be a staple program that we offer. We also held our inaugural crown placement this year. And so essentially crown placement was an empowerment workshop that we put together for young ladies, in which we just really worked to build up their spirit and their mental view of themselves, and just reminding them how awesome and how great they are. We also made sure that specifically for crown placement, we address things like skincare, hair care, just kind of how to take care of you as a female. I know oftentimes we get caught up in, the daily routines of life, and we talk about, self-care, self-love, but what does that look like and how do you implement it? So that's what crown placement was dedicated to. Prior to COVID, we also held a monthly pop-up yoga. And so that was called Flower and Power Yoga. It was really great. And there were a lot of young ladies who participated who never participated in yoga before. So that was such a wonderful experience for us to have. Unfortunately, though, we have not been able to continue it in the midst of COVID, but that's definitely a program that we look forward to bringing back around. So Joanne, what are some of those topics of Cupcakes and Conversations we've addressed? And definitely let Jena know if I forgot about any other programs.
Cupcakes and Conversations, we always have a subject matter expert there. And this person usually works within the field of whatever we're discussing. So some past Cupcakes and Conversations that we've addressed has to do with finances, college discoveries. So we do this on a yearly basis. We always have a Cupcakes and Conversations that's dedicated to college, the college experience, learning how to apply for it, how to pay for it, everything you need to know college, right? Some other topics also include domestic violence. We've spoken about sassy versus classy. So basically internet etiquette, how to carry yourself as a lady these days, those types of topics. So whenever our young ladies tells us there's something they're interested in learning, we immediately find an expert, and then we connect them with that resource during Cupcakes and Conversations.
Something that really strikes me right away, of course, is you really listen to the community that you serve. That is really important and really, really special. I can only imagine when we were young girls that this is something that we would have really appreciated and loved. Like you said, not everybody should be relying on their peers, and having someone step in that is a professional that has been through these lived and learned experiences is really important. And then another thing that strikes me is that you're really thinking about the mind, body, and soul here. You're really kind of capturing all of that with the education behind finances and college, and moving your body and yoga and skincare. Again, these are things that are so appreciated, and to have one place where you have said that we trust these professionals, we know that this is what you want, and this is really important information that you can take from us, is really incredible. So thank you so much for sharing that, and for all that you do.
Inspired by our guest? When your supporters feel the same way about your mission, put the power of speedy giving in their hands. Donorbox Text to Give is super easy to set up and lets your supporters give by sending a simple text message from their smartphones. One setup, no forms, no fuss. Ideal for on-the-spot donation drives, church services and conferences, or hassle-free repeat donations. Let the moment move you. Donorbox, helping you help others.
And in the same lane as your programs, what kind of success have you seen behind your programs? Is there a favorite success story that you can share with me today?
Yes, I actually have one in mind, and just bear with me. I'm going to try to get through it without shedding a tear. So we recently held Cupcakes and Conversations College Discoveries. Joanne kind of mentioned that one. We held it in August, and that's definitely an event that we put on with several community partners, such as the Greater Gainesville Chamber, the Education Foundation of Alachua County Public Schools, and of course, our colleges here in town. So that would be Santa Fe College as well as the University of Florida. So College Discoveries is essentially about sharing the college experience with our attendees. We specifically target both young girls and young boys for that program. And we also invite their parents to attend as well, right? When you think about the resources that's out there and how to prepare you for college, what oftentimes comes up is financial aid, how to, write an accepting, winning college essay, how to make sure you complete your FAFSA. But there's so much more to college than that, There's the whole aspect of how do you make friends? How do you get to know what's available on the campus that are resources for you? What does, mental health first aid resources on campus look like? Tell me more about housing. Where am I going to sleep and put my head? How do I make sure I either live on campus or off campus? And what are the benefits of those? So we put together College Discoveries to kind of go over not just the hard facts that you need to know for college, but also some of the softer life skills that you need in order to do well. We also bring together a college panel of students who either recently graduated or are college students. So that way our youth can learn directly from college students themselves what to expect and just kind of get their perspective. So with this recent College Discoveries, it was towards the end of our 2-day program, and I had one of the parents reach out to me over chat. And what she explained to me is that prior to attending College Discoveries, her son had told her he did not think he would do well in college. So therefore, he wasn't going to even try. Throughout his high school experience, he suffered and had to manage his ADHD. And because of that, it has caused him to believe that college is not for him. But after attending College Discoveries, he realized that there is a place in college for him, that he can do it. He is equipped with the skills and the resources to do well, and to also know that there are professionals out there who are willing to assist him and are also vested in his ability to succeed and to do well. And so after College Discoveries, she was able to take her son to visit the University of Florida. So they completed a tour. And I also encouraged her to go back and watch day 1 of College Discoveries, which was available on our Facebook page. And so I tear up every time I tell that story or think about that story, just because, it's so easy to get bogged down in the day-to-day of what it is that you're trying to do, making sure that, events and activities are executed perfectly, that we don't oftentimes get to hear the end results of our efforts and our programs and our activities. So hearing something like that was definitely the encouragement that we all needed, to remind us that there is a greater purpose in the work that we do, and just to remain encouraged despite any obstacles that we may face, because we are making a difference in the lives of the youth that we serve.
We're going to shift gears a little bit. As a small nonprofit, volunteer-led, navigating your way through an ongoing pandemic, what are some of the biggest challenges that you're facing right now?
So I think you kind of hit the nail on the head when you said volunteer-led. I would probably say it's it's been such a blessing that we are volunteer led, right? Because it lets me know that everyone who's a part of the mission is passionate about what we're doing, because everyone has a full-time job. They have families, extracurricular activities that they're a part of, other organizations that they sit on boards. So it lets me know that the fact that we're still moving and thriving and growing, that, you know, our mission and what it is that we're doing is critical. It's important to them, that they find time, they make time for Dream on Purpose. But at the same time, it would be such a benefit to the organization if we had funds that were dedicated to capacity building, to where we could hire staff to help execute the programs, in which case, you know, Cupcakes and Conversations may not have to be quarterly anymore. Maybe it could be something that's hosted monthly. So we look forward to the day where we can hire staff to help run the day-to-day of Dream on Purpose, so that way we can increase our services and increase the amount of youth that we serve. Joanne, would you agree? Are there any other challenges that you think that we're facing?
I agree 100% with what you said, Shareen. And so we're always looking for people who want to serve as well, who see the vision, who can agree that if they had a program like this when they were growing up, this was something that would be beneficial to them. And so we're always looking for volunteers. We're always looking for donations. We're always looking for people to jump in and step up and help the organization in whatever way they feel they're able to. There's so many talented people out there that we can use their skills, right? And even if it's 10 hours a week, there's not too small, right? There's not too small of a donation or too small of time that you can give. All of it comes back, especially when we hear stories like the one Shareen just told us.
You asked, what do we see for the future? To be honest with you, we hope that Cupcakes and Conversations can be a national movement. It can take place in every city, that people can see themselves identifying with our mission, being part of this movement, and making a difference in their community.
Thank you so much for sharing. And Joanne, anything to add to that?
Well, we've had the pleasure of meeting such wonderful people throughout this journey. We're talking about interns, volunteers, donors, people who participated in our events, their parents, our presenters, our speakers. And so we're so excited to meet new faces and get more people on board. We can't wait to see where everything goes and how much of an impact we end up having in the long run.
Amazing. Well, I want to thank you both so much for all that you do to serve your community, for inspiring our youth and giving them the tools that they need to feel confident and to go forth and do great things and take care of themselves and do everything mind, body, and soul. So truly, you're doing incredible work. And on behalf of the entire team at Donorbox, we're so proud to help you help others along the way.
I loved that whole interview, but 2 points that really stood out for me: active listening. Dream on Purpose has got that so right. They listened to the young women they support, actually heard the response, and developed their strategy to address real stated needs with a nuanced response. And secondly, they engaged and built productive relationships with the broader community. Working with local businesses and institutions has provided them with strong, committed support and created identifiable, accessible role models and mentors, with the unstoppable Shareen and Joanne leading the way, of course. Dream on Purpose may be a young organization, but they have so much to teach us all. And that is what the Nonprofit Podcast is all about: staying in touch with the impact of our work. Connecting with on-the-ground results can be challenging, which is why we're here with a new, inspiring, informative, and always interesting interview every Thursday. So follow, review, and download the Nonprofit Podcast today, and be sure to join us next time. Until then, stay inspired.
The Nonprofit Podcast, powered by Donorbox, helping you help others.